You are listening to a Dynamic Works Productions podcast. This show is available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio Network, and many, many more podcast services around the world. You can find all our content, music, videos, books, podcasts, and more on our website, www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Have questions, comments, or concerns for us? Head on over to the social tab on www.dynamicworksproductions.com if you'd like to talk to us. Now, on with the show. What's going on, everybody, on this lovely Saturday afternoon? I'm your host, as always, author, podcaster, gamer, Tim K.A. Trotter. Joining me as the newly minted co-host of the Fork in Your Ear podcast, the one, the only, the Bjorn B of yore, the Lightfoot of the Fork in Your Path show, and the Frost March of wherever the fuck that comes from. Where does Frost March come from?
It came from my WoW days when Wrath of the Lich King came out.
Oh, Jesus, I don't think I knew that.
No, yeah, it was. I bought Wrath of the Lich King, and I was like, "Oh, Frostmarch kind of sounds Lich King-y."
Fair enough.
Sounds awesome.
Anyways, the one and only Brock Loomis.
Hello.
All right, we're gonna go back to the old format while we're getting grooved in here into the old spinning of the topics. And I do believe a lot's been going on in the world this last week. So let's spin the ring and find out where we land. All right, we have landed on life stories. I don't really have much life stories other than things still kind of suck. Between me and Brock and my girlfriend, we're in a slow process of getting new housing situation figured out. I know Brock's got a line on some, and me and Jessica need to submit shit to. I don't know. I've never bought a house before, folks.
It's crazy shit, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Other than that, I mean, the only other thing I guess I could really say is me and Jessica have had a little bit of an interesting week on the relationship level. She was all, so like I've been dating my girl Jessica, who's been on the show before, getting towards the 3-year mark, and we've been living together since October. But she was asking me just the other day, after I watched The Notebook with her. I just want this out there.
Terrible book and movie.
It wasn't as bad as you made it out to be.
It is that bad. You just have poor taste.
I did legitimately question why it was $20 fucking on iTunes when it came out in
Seriously?
2004.
20?
Yeah, I know, right? $20
bucks?
$20 fucking dollars. Yes.
Ryan Gosling isn't that good of an actor.
Certainly
and
not.
Neither
in
is
that
What's
film.
Her Face.
I don't know.
And What's Her Face is not that good looking either.
I mean, I don't think she's good looking. I think she's a good actor.
Actress,
whatever.
No. It's a terrible fucking movie. There's a million movies that are infinitely better that have no Parkinson's daytime drama type things to them.
Daytime drama. Wow.
Whatever she had.
It was, Alzheimer's.
Sorry, Alzheimer's. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I told Tim, I was like, if you guys want to watch a romance movie, fucking watch What Dreams May Come, or even Princess Bride for that matter.
That's spread great. I don't know what Dreams May Come is. What's the box quote?
What?
I don't know. No, I don't know. What's the box quote of that?
Robin
shit.
Williams plays a serious role that isn't remotely humorous at all.
I mean, he's done quite a few of those over his career.
No, not like this. Not like there's no funny, like you want to fucking rinse your mouth out with aspirin and Jack Daniels and a side of buckshot. It is really, really fucking depressing.
Okay.
And
but why is that a romantic movie?
Because it's romantic because of, you got to watch it, dude. I'm not going to ruin it. It's an amazing movie.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite love movies, probably, like, besides, I don't know, Romeo and Juliet. Put it up there with the sadness of Romeo and Juliet and that kind of seriousness. But Robin Williams and Cuba Gooding Jr. too, which is really weird.
That is a very odd pairing, but no odder than Robin Williams and fucking Al Pacino.
Very true. Very true.
And he's not funny in that movie either.
No, he's not.
Talking about, oh man, what the fuck is that movie called? It's called Fog, the Mist, the something.
What? The Fog, the Mist?
The murder mystery one. It's got Al Pacino and Robin Williams.
1 Hour Photo?
No. The one where there's a murder mystery up in Alaska.
I thought that was 1 Hour Photo.
No. It's
not The Fog or the Mist. Tell you that much.
Insomnia.
Oh, yes. Where the fuck did you get Fog and Mist?
There's a lot of fog and mist in that movie.
Okay, I don't disagree with that.
Like it was foggy, it was misty, and that's what happened. So, yeah.
Yes. Great movie though. You should watch it. I think it's on Netflix.
Okay. What Dreams May Come. Fair enough. I'm down for filling out the all the missing things of Robin Williams that I haven't yet to see yet. Did you ever see the final cut? Robin Williams?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's a fucking great one. It's actually sci-fi. So it's the gist is he is a cutter, and it's a little bit into the future where everybody's lives is like recorded from their eyes. And
it's like Black Mirror.
And when I mean, I don't know, I've never seen Black Mirror.
Oh,
but
that's a good one you should watch.
Basically, when somebody dies, he's responsible for basically putting together I'd liken it to like a wedding video, but like a wedding video, like a person's life to give to their beloved ones.
Yeah.
And he is like cutting together this one guy's footage, and he like finds out that he's like a fucking serial killer.
Oh shit.
Essentially. And so he like goes trying to like solve like these different, like put some piece to some stuff, but then it twists on you there, and then like he starts seeing in his footage that some of it is like from his perspective somehow.
Okay.
And so it's just like, well, is he cutting together his own life's footage? Is he cutting together this dead guy's footage? Like, it gets really twisty. It's really dark. It's really good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I would recommend it. It's one of those movies that is better than it has any right to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, Jessica was like, hey, when are we getting married? When are we having kids? You know, when are we getting a house and all this sort of stuff? And I was like,
just say no.
Well, it put me in the hard position because I was like, I was saying that I'm not where she's at on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I feel that.
I wasn't trying to be mean or nothing. Like, it's just like I'm not at wherever she's at for wanting those things. Like, I do want those things eventually, but it's like we're all in the process of taking over a business. We're all in the process of finding a house. There's like a lot of shit flying around in the air, and I don't really have capacity to focus on like whatever I need to focus on to get from here to there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know, man.
So it's like, I mean, I don't know. Have you been in the position where your girlfriend is asking you for marriage or kids or whatever, Brock?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so how did those go down? Spin the
I
yarn,
told.
good sir.
Okay, so my ex, when about a year after we started dating, she wanted to have kids. I
Mm-hmm.
flat out told her no. This was before I had found out about Jay,
Mm-hmm. Maybe you should
and
probably fill in for folks at home who don't know
okay,
that
so
whole deal-a-majig.
I found out I had a son after I got served papers for paternity, and yeah, and it was not a good situation because me and my girlfriend were very rocky
Mm-hmm.
because of it, and she was super pissed about the fact that I had a kid and had told her no, I don't want kids. So, but yeah, she said she wanted kids. I had told her no, I do not want kids, and if I ever was gonna have a kid, it wouldn't be. It would be like adoption or foster. Like I fucking never wanted children, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't want kids anymore either. I got a vasectomy for my last birthday. So so now I can't have kids.
Oh, there you go.
So I just for she was distraught for like a week and a half, and she still used to bring it up when we were seeing each other. Like I don't know how you can't love somebody enough to want to bring life into the world. And I was like, I do love you enough to not bring life in the world. Like what the fuck? Like we have a house and her son, and I
Yeah,
was
because she
like,
already had a kid, right?
yes, yeah. And I was like, she's like, well, you love my son. Why wouldn't you love our son? I was like, because I chose your son. I don't get to choose our kid. Like
That's fair.
our kid squirts out of you as is, and we have to fucking deal with it.
Fair
I
enough.
mean, that's kind of my cynical view of it, but I mean, we came to terms of it, but if you want those things, you're in a better position than I was with my ex.
I mean, I do want those things. I just don't want them now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like shit is not stable enough to, in my opinion, to like get married and like try for some kids. Like,
Hell no.
I would like a house and I would like the work situation to stabilize, like, so that I can like see a future in it being stable. You know what I mean?
No, I totally
Like,
do.
before I can even like, okay, I am going to take the condom off now during sex.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
just go get a vasectomy and don't tell her.
That's terrible. Okay, so on that note, like, so did that fucking hurt?
No, okay, so they do. So my doctor, um, he gave me a prescription for a Xanax
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of men get nervous and tense up, so their testicles like suck up towards their abdomen, which makes the vasectomy really hard
Yeah, I bet.
and actually dangerous.
Right.
So he gave me that so that I could relax.
Mm-hmm.
Then he did a local, shaved the nethers,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, it's not snip snip. It's like they actually cauterize.
Mm.
And I was sore, and they were like, "Take it easy for like 4 or 5 days." But I ended up taking a long weekend
Mm-hmm.
and did a half day Friday and missed Monday, and then I called it good.
Mm.
And that was simply because I just, my boys hurt and I was
So the
sore.
obvious
So
question, like, so when you when you're having some you time, like, it doesn't change that at all, or does it change that?
I mean, yeah, it does. It doesn't affect your performance or anything. It just it's a little bit different. It's more in the fact that you don't have egg, or you don't have semen that can actually fertilize. It doesn't affect your
But I mean, you
semen.
still got like goop, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you
Is it
do. Like it's
is it like more goop, less goop? Like,
to be frank, I don't. pay attention to my cum that much, like unless it burns when I pee, and then
that's true.
I clean up the mess and call it good. Like I just call it a day.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm sure it's different from everybody, especially with the different methods they have. Because there is a different method where instead of cauterizing, they rubber band your what I don't even know what it's called. They rubber band it so that they can actually remove it later on if you want to. So it's kind of like a temporary. I don't know if they do that one anymore. It's supposed to be not as effective.
So they basically literally. So that's probably where tie your tubes comes from, huh?
No, that's a legit female thing only.
Oh, okay. Well,
pretty sure.
I don't fucking know.
Well, maybe you should educate yourself.
Well, maybe I shouldn't.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I haven't noticed anything different, like really different. Like I still have the same sex drive and all that. I just have the option of not having kids now when I don't wear a condom, or if I choose not to wear a condom.
Fair.
So that's nice.
Yeah, I bet that's definitely an upshot of that. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it is. But I mean, I know Jessica wants kids, so you're kind of you don't have a choice in the matter, to be frank.
Well, sure. I mean, but like that's okay with me. Like I always figured I would have, minimum one, probably like a max of two. That's just for me because like, like as like I grew up an only child, and it's like in some respects I kind of wish that wasn't the case. So
Yeah,
I always figured two would be good. I mean, ideally you'd have, one of both sex. So, and this is going to sound really terrible, but like, ideally you'd have one of both sex. So, whichever one sucks, you can put all your hopes and dreams in the other one, right?
True story.
I mean, that's terrible, but, maybe that's just my naivety of having not entered the father realm, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, you really haven't been around kids very much, too, either. Like, not.
I don't know. I
fucking not consistently.
I was around Avery for like the first 4 years of her life, pretty fucking consistently.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Like I would fucking like watch her and change her and shit. So that's like whole dilemma Bob right there. Good practice, I guess.
Yeah.
But Avery was also super well behaved, so it's like I know that's not necessarily always normal. Although your kid, at least in my opinion, is hella behaved.
Yeah, it's because you got to put the fear in them early. No, but okay. So to reference this, people, my son he's just turned 4. He's already 50 pounds and 4.5 feet tall. He's pretty tall. He's going to be big.
Pretty tall. Oh.
Doctors say he's going to be like 6'1", 6'2".
No shit. Jesus.
I'm 5'8" in high heels.
Yeah.
So I need to make sure he has an understanding of like, yeah, someone may not be bigger than you, but they're probably going to fuck your shit up.
Sure.
Because I can't have no fucking 6 foot tall 17-year-old pushing me around in fucking 10 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Or actually 13 years, but
that's when you get a taser baton.
That's right. No, but I mean, he's very, very respectful. He was not that way when I first got custody of him, because I actually won full custody of him from his mother. So, and he was not a very well behaved child. He didn't listen
surprising
well
to me because he is very well behaved.
Oh man,
and he's like happy about it, well behaved, at least most of the time.
Yeah. Well, that's because anytime he's good, I give him a fucking good incentive.
Oh, that's true.
Go get when he napped all week at daycare this week.
That's good.
And I told him if he did that on Thursday, we would go get pizzas.
Mm.
So, and he napped all week, and we went and got pizza.
Nice.
Watched Wreck-It Ralph.
Nice.
So Wreck-It Ralph too.
Yeah, obviously.
So, but yeah, you got to have some incentives along with the threat of fear. In my opinion, I mean that's just.
I mean, like I hear about the way you raise your kid. I mean, and obviously I'm around you a lot of the time these days since we work and live together. But at the same time, like I hear some things from you and they sound like really risque, but then I see how it actually turns out with Jay, and Jay is like,
Yeah,
he's
you've
really
seen
good,
me.
you know?
Yeah, you've seen me punish him.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen me reward him, and you've seen my actual like follow through of what I say. It's not. I do not beat my son. I do not physically hurt him,
Mm-hmm.
but there are actual consequences for his bad decisions. So I mean, that's the only thing. Whereas I do try to talk to him about his behavior, but there comes a point where you can't talk to people sometimes.
Sure.
Sometimes people just need action. Kids are the same way. And so everybody's like, oh, treat your kid like an adult. Okay, I am treating my kid like an adult.
Mm-hmm.
He has actual consequences instead of, you know what, it's really bad to run people over while you drink and drive. Don't do it again. Like that's kind of how I like relate to that.
Sure.
So take note, Tim, before Jessica walks in this afternoon and goes, I'm pregnant.
Oh God, that would be very surprising.
Yeah, it would.
So that'd be. Ooh, I would not be ready for that one.
You never are, man. You never are.
I'd be like, so where's that belt and a tall chair? And it's not that I don't want kids. It's like, man, I feel like, I'm still, even though I'm fucking 30, I still feel like a kid a lot of the times. Like, who's kind of just wearing an adult mask sometimes.
I call that kidulting.
Kidulting? That's great.
Yes. Because that's what I am. I'm a year younger than Tim.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's only been in the last maybe 2 years where I'm like, oh man, I'm a real life, somewhat functioning, somewhat responsible adult. I guess. I don't know. What do I do with my life? So, I mean, it's hard. Being an adult sucks.
Yeah. Adulting.
Like all the amazing things you thought you were gonna do when you were a kid, as an adult, you're like, oh, I'm gonna stay up so late.
Yeah, then you're like, I'm tired.
And then
I probably shouldn't eat that now.
Yeah. Like,
that's the truth.
The most, like, this wasn't even a thought in my mind when I was a kid, but I'm like, you know what? If I really fucking wanted to, it's Saturday, I can have a mimosa if I want. Or I can, like, just turn on the TV and roll over and go back to sleep. And, like, that's the most of the adulting that I do that was, like, that I thought might be awesome, at least sleeping in. Yeah. But now it's just like, fuck, dude. Yeah. There's no cake every night. There's no ice cream for breakfast. There's no like honestly, I would fucking love to go back to like high school again. Like,
really?
It was so easy. Oh, dude, high school was super easy for me.
Really? I remember you having a hard time in high school.
No, middle school. High school was
really. I thought it was high school.
No, well, freshman year was hard for me, but that was because I was smoking a lot of pot.
Fair enough. Yeah, that was actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else much to say on life. I mean, it's just it's life. Things are moving on.
Progressing.
I think for me, like, I wish it would move faster.
Like what? You want to be in your 40s?
No, not that. Not like, I don't want like age faster. I just mean things like like things stabilizing and getting a house and like work stuff. Like I wish stuff like that would move like or like
Quicker.
progress faster. Yeah, you know,
Like
because
you
there's
could.
like a lot of fucking waiting and not knowing, and it's like
Oh, there totally is.
that part sucks. I hate that part. It's so
Yeah, it's
stupid.
terrible.
You know, or like you know, or even like stupid, shitty, stupid, shitty things. You know, like medical things, and it seems like it takes like weeks to resolve. You know, and it's just
Right?
like, man, why can't everything be 24 or 48 hours? Like that'd be great.
Yeah. No shit.
You know, because then at least you could like you could know hypothetically like an end to something.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
So
Or to put that in there, like movies. I wish I could just like wake up and fucking, oh, I'm going to see Endgame tonight, or
right?
going to see Detective Pikachu.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, that kind of stuff.
for sure. That'd be great.
Yes, it totally
But
fucking would
instead, you
be.
have to wait.
That reminds me of, you ever watch Click with Adam Sandler?
Yeah, I didn't like that movie so much.
Really? I thought it was cute at the end.
I feel about Adam Sandler the way I feel about Melissa McCarthy. It's like every other movie of theirs and his is good.
I totally agree with that. But this was his other movie that was awesome.
Like it had its moments. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I thought it was good.
Well, fair enough. All right, let's spin this ring. Get on to another topic here. All right, we are on to all right, we're on entertainment. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about on entertainment.
Fuck yeah, we do.
There's new Detective Pikachu trailer.
Which was awesome.
There's new X-Men trailer. I don't know if you saw that yet.
I did not see that. I haven't been on Reddit all morning.
Oh man, it was actually out Thursday.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
did not see that at all.
yeah, new Dark Phoenix trailer.
Sweet.
I mean, we could do a live reaction to Dark Phoenix right now. You want to do that?
Yes, sure.
All right, let's do that. Let's see. Can you even see a YouTube thing? You're recording on your phone, right?
No, I'm not recording.
Or I mean, you're using Skype on your phone, right?
Yeah.
Can you use?
I can play the video on mute.
I mean,
and then have you play the audio.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Because we've done that before.
We have? Okay.
Yeah, to
Let's do that.
the Watson Holmes or whatever trailer. That was terrible.
That's right. Okay. I've got the Dark Phoenix trailer from
3 days ago.
the one on February 27th. It's 2 minutes 32 seconds long.
Yeah, give me a sec.
Okay.
Okay, it's loading. Damn it! Why did it unmute?
It's okay.
All right, so
Okay, I'm at 0-0.
Yep.
All right, you want to do the countdown?
Yep. 3, 2, 1.
Why did you make me do that? Look at me. Focus on my voice. I'm not giving up on you, Jean. She was my friend. You're my family, Jean. Stop, no matter what. Stop.
Damn, fuck Mystique up.
Look. You're special, Jean. And if you stop fighting that force inside you, if you embrace it, you will possess the very power of a god.
쇼키라서
how we fix this, Charles. Tell me what to do. I don't know what to do.
What they don't understand. They fear, and what they fear, we seek to destroy.
This is your fault, Charles. I tried to protect her.
I'm scared. When I lose control, bad things happen to people I love.
The girl dies. She's still Jean. We can still help her.
Sometimes you want to believe people are something that they are not. By the time you realize who they are,
Jean!
it's too late.
She's coming.
Looks pretty good.
Really? I think it. I'm not excited.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I wish they.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm not excited. Like, I don't know. Like, for one, I'm not a fan of Sansa Stark being Jean Grey. Like,
Really?
I don't think she has the acting chops to carry a movie, personally.
Well, I mean, I didn't see Fenka. What's her name? The original Jean Grey. I didn't see her being Jean Grey because she was such an odd character. Like, she's an odd character person, not an odd character.
I don't know. I liked Femke Jensen's Jean Grey though.
She did really good, but I didn't think she would do good at first.
Yeah, but the thing though is we've already seen Sansa Stark as Jean Grey.
I think she's good.
Apocalypse was terrible.
No, it wasn't. It's not terrible.
It's terrible.
No.
Terrible.
Okay. You said you liked the Notebook. I can't even take what you say seriously.
No, I didn't say I liked the Notebook. I said it wasn't as bad as you said it was.
It is.
That is very different.
Apocalypse was not a terrible movie. It was not great.
It was not a good Apocalypse movie, that's for sure.
Okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough with that. But it still wasn't a bad movie.
Okay, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
I will agree with that.
The only good thing I liked about Apocalypse was I thought the last battle scene was pretty cool, and the Psylocke stuff nailed it in my opinion.
Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah, especially Olivia Munn, all day, every day.
Yeah, she was actually really good at Psylocke.
Yeah.
And the actress they have playing Storm, I thought did really good too.
Yeah, I thought she did a really good job. I never seen her in anything else. She was good. Good.
And it was more true to Storm's backstory.
Yeah, with being from Africa and stuff.
And a thief. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
very much better.
I was kind of hoping to see like maybe a glimpse of a new Logan, or maybe Hugh Jackman as Logan, because Logan was a pretty big cornerstone in the Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, but they already
comics.
did that / fucked it up in X-Men 3.
I don't disagree with that, but it would be a very good way to introduce a new Logan or Wolverine.
Yeah, maybe. I honestly think they need to wait on that.
Not as a big player in the series, but like, oh, here's somebody we found fucking wild in the woods killing people.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I'm definitely gonna go see Dark Phoenix. I just don't have I've been told that over half of the movie takes place in space and stuff, and they're actually gonna do all the space shit, which is what they should have done from the get-go.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Just everything I see in the trailers, it's like, okay, they got another train scene. They got another scene where she's at a house killing people. You know, Dark Phoenix is gonna kill somebody again. Like, it just feels so like I'm watching an alternate universe X-Men 3.
Well, because you are technically.
Yeah, I mean it's true. It's true.
I mean,
It's just
it really
I mean
is.
that in like a not a good way.
No, I know that, but I mean, it really is. I think the only thing I didn't like about the trailer was Mystique's makeup looks fucking terrible. Like she looks like baby blue instead of like evil sinister blue. I don't know how to put it. Her makeup just looked really bad, and I don't know if it was because it's
I mean they might be doing a
a
different
really
thing
early cut.
because what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence has complained about the makeup on Mystique, so that might be like a different technique for it, maybe.
Get the fuck out of here. What's her name would spend 8 hours in makeup for a 30-minute scene or for a 30-second scene.
Oh yeah, the original
Yeah,
Mystique.
and she was awesome at it.
Yeah, she's good. She's good.
And I
So
like
good.
how they did her voice too in the original series.
Oh, with a little bit of a like special effecting.
Yeah, like auto tuning almost. So like you had like you get a feeling that she is just mimicking everything she's ever heard.
Yeah,
And
I hear you. Yeah, I can see
so
that for sure.
yeah, that's what I really liked about. But that makeup looks terrible. I'm not a huge fan of the Jennifer Lawrence Mystique, and not because of Jennifer Lawrence. Just
I think they made some character missteps with her, like her being like a fucking Charles Xavier's like ward is really weird to me.
yeah, that is a little bit odd.
Like it's weird, but at the same time, like I think X-Men First Class is one of the best X-Men movies ever made, personally. Like I think okay, let's put it this way. Run down X-Men movies from best to worst. Go.
Best to worst. Strictly X-Men movies.
Yeah, we're not counting the solo Logans. Even though
Well,
Logan itself was more of an X-Men movie than the previous two.
yes, it was, and it was absolutely amazing.
Yes, it was.
Oh man, you know what? They all the originals hold a really nostalgic place in my heart, and it's hard for me to judge them because it was the first time seeing a successful comic book come to life. I mean, aside from Blade, Blade
Oh,
and
yeah.
Blade was good, but I couldn't watch it at the time because it was
Rated
super
R.
rated R, and I was 6 or 7
We still
when it
watched
came
it
out.
though.
We did, but it was like a year later, I think.
I think we watched it when we were like 10 or 12. Probably.
Yeah.
I remember having it on DVD. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and it was awesome. But seeing, and I wasn't a huge fan of Blade back then. I like him; he's all right. But seeing like Wolverine and Storm, I used to love Storm. I used to have the biggest crush on Storm, actually.
Really? In the cartoon?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Oh.
especially when I can't remember which series when she had the mohawk.
I'm pretty sure it was the 90s X-Men series.
Yeah, yeah.
In like her backstory episodes.
Yeah. So I used to have the biggest crush on Storm, and seeing her come to life was awesome. So it's hard for me to judge those, but I will definitely say the worst is X-Men 3. Hands down, that's the worst.
See, for me, I think Apocalypse is the worst.
I like how they brought new characters into the scenes of relying on the same old.
I mean, yeah, but
new interpretations of characters.
I don't know. I think, yeah, I don't know. I would go from worst to best. I'd probably go, I'd go Apocalypse. I'd go X-Men 3 Last Stand. Then I'd probably do. I'd probably do the original X-Men, and then I'd do X-Men 2, then Days of Future Past, and then First Class.
Okay, that's a fair list.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good list.
So that would be my sequence, not counting, of course, the Wolverine movies.
Yeah.
Which, of course, I think we all pretty much know the order of greatness of the Wolverine movies.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, and I actually liked Origins for what it was, you know, but clearly the sequence is Logan, the Wolverine, and then X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
That's the clear winner sequence there. And I guess technically there's the Deadpool films too.
Yeah.
Like, I never really thought about it like that, but that's true too. Like, I'm not sure where that would fit in the echelon of those different the different X-Men franchise films.
Well, until they actually tie in X-Force to X-Men, which
May or may not happen.
Which may or may not happen, even though
Yeah.
X-Force was a secret division of the X-Men or the Xavier Academy.
Uh-huh.
So
Was it gonna run by Wolverine?
it was,
Or at least
for
from one version, probably.
There was. Yeah, Wolverine did head it up at one point. And then I think maybe Emma Frost?
I always thought she was bad.
She was, but she did run the school for a long time after Charles died or transferred his
Supposedly
body.
died. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
died and resurrected.
Transferred his mind into a different body that was in a coma, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But
Fair enough. So, all this talk about X-Men and Dark Phoenix is coming out June, I think it said. You know, definitely going to see it. I hope it's good, since it's going to be really probably the last X-Men film for at least a couple of years, I think, personally, while it reintegrates into the MCU. That begs the question, who is the MCU X-Men? Like, which actors are playing characters in the MCU?
well, I mean, Sir Patrick Stewart is retired. He's done with
Yeah.
being...
No. I'm not saying like not keeping any of the actors who have been in X-Men films. Who is the MCU cast for X-Men? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
So I've been looking at some lists, and I think there's some really good, really strong actors that we haven't seen in the MCU before who could fucking crush some of these iconic roles that have already been done by two actors or less.
Have they already
at this
said
point.
that they were going to change the actors, or are they going to try and...
No. They haven't said anything. All they've said, the only one who is safe in the MCU is Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool.
Really?
Yeah. So
That's
we have no idea
kind of cool and
Yeah.
terrifying.
Sure.
Like, that kind of sucks, because I actually really like James McAvoy.
Oh, I like James
As-
McAvoy too. James McAvoy is great. Can't go wrong with him.
Yeah.
However, what would you say to a Ralph Fiennes or Mark Strong as Professor Xavier?
Let me see. I don't remember what Ralph Fiennes has been in.
He's a fucking Voldemort.
No, he's too old.
So fucking Patrick Stewart was pretty old when he fucking...
Yeah, but this motherfucker looks old. Patrick Stewart looks younger than I do.
Okay, well, what about Mark
right
Strong?
now. Mark Strong.
He's played good guys, bad guys, always bald. Very good British actor.
Let me see. Oh, him? Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely him. He would
Yeah.
be a great Xavier.
Okay, and I have the perfect... I don't even have another actor to play, but I have the perfect Magneto.
Okay. Is it Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No. Why the fuck would you... Why would you say this? Why would you
Because
immediately...
honestly, I loved his role as fucking Iceman.
That's
Or,
terrible.
Mr.
You're
Freeze.
a horrible
Mr.
person.
Freeze. I thought that was like his
Ugh.
greatest 90s role ever, minus Terminator. Just, it was so ridiculous. I loved it.
I mean, it was a pretty crazy role, that's for sure. So, best actor to play a new Magneto, Jason
Okay.
Isaacs.
Oh,
Fuck yes.
yes.
He would bring the
Yes.
intensity. He would bring that conviction of knowing that, mutant kind needs to be salvationed and fuck the humans. He's so good at duality roles.
Yes.
He would crush it as Magneto. And
I agree.
Yeah.
That would be a good one.
So in looking at some other fan casting, there's like a bunch of threads about whoever plays Beast needs to be like a full CG mocap character and not a dude
I
in a
totally
suit.
agree.
Even though I've liked the actors who've played Beast so far. Like I actually really liked Kelsey Grammer as Beast.
I did too.
And I like the kid dude who's the current Beast right now. But
Yeah.
so a full CGI Beast. So, you wouldn't necessarily have to have the actor there on set. Like who has the gravitas or maybe a certain kind of intelligent but bestial quality that, the Beast would require?
Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph fucking Lundgren?
Dude, he has 2 PhDs.
That's it's not the worst thing I've heard. That's just
He
very
would be-
very surprising.
He can play really, really dumb, like in most of his movies, but like if you've watched some of the Expendables where he
Mhm.
starts spouting off like real scientific terms in them, I think he has a PhD in like geology and chemical engineering. Really, really interesting guy.
Interesting choice. A fan casting that I saw for Beast, and I'm forgetting his fucking name, but there's the kid with the eyebrows who was most recently in the Maze Runner films as kind of like the hard ass dude. He's been in a bunch of kid films, but he's usually the tough guy in those films. I'll have to look up his fucking.
You know what? Dylan O'Brien actually wouldn't be a bad Beast.
Yeah, I just feel like you got to have someone like fucking. He'd have to be like Johnny Storm or somebody like really famous, because Dylan O'Brien is a fucking awesome, actor, and like he's got to have like his own. Him being in a co-star role, like let's be honest, when he was in Teen Wolf, he fucking stole the scene every goddamn time.
He really did.
And like, and he was great in the Maze Runner films. You've seen those, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you seen all of them?
I think I saw the first and second, but not the third. Death Cure or whatever.
Third was way better than 2. That's for sure.
I didn't mind 2 though, so it's not.
2 was interesting, but I felt it like, and I read the book too. Both the movie and the book of the Scorch Trials was a little plotting, in my opinion. Death Cure was much better. And that's also the one where Dylan O'Brien got crushed by that fucking Jeep. And he had to take like a year and a half off and have fucking facial reconstructive surgery and shit.
Still kicking though.
Yep, still kicking. And he went back and finished the movie.
Yup. Yeah. And he's still acting hard too.
Yeah, good for him. He's still young. He got it. But yeah, I could see Dylan O'Brien as Beast, but like I want Dylan O'Brien to be like a Storm or I don't know, like a more famous Marvel character. Like I had always wanted him as Spider-Man, but
he would be a good Spider-Man.
He would be an amazing Spider-Man. Yeah.
So who do we have play Storm then?
So there are a lot of interesting actresses for Storm, but the one that was most interesting to me was the gal. She's on some hospital show right now, but she was in Sense8 and she played the lesbian lover in the San Francisco area in Sense8. And because in Sense8 she has a mohawk. And she's really spunky, and like she could play like a really cool, like a she could play a really cool Storm, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion. Now,
Okay, what about Cyclops? I mean, Cyclops.
I feel like you can have fucking anybody play Cyclops, personally. Like,
see, I think that's the problem. Is I've always liked Cyclops as a character, even though he is a fucking giant bag of tools.
yeah.
I think you need somebody that plays him the right way so that you both love and hate him, and love to hate him, and hate to love him.
So, like, I think.
Because most of the time you're like, oh, this fucking Gomer, like, get this fucker off the screen.
Yeah, like, I agree. And, like, even though I'm not a huge fan of James Marsden, I think James Marsden did the best.
I agree with that.
Because he was able to get some of that smarmy cockiness to it.
Yes.
You know, like, he did that really well.
I agree with that. He's also a really good actor in his own rights outside of the
really
MCU,
good.
outside of Marvel.
I don't know. Like, I feel like every other role of his rubs me the wrong way. You know, like he's super good in Westworld. You know, again, I just watched The Notebook and he's in that, and I was just like, oh, this fucking tool, this tool in Notebook.
Right?
Get away from the main chick, you fucking bastard.
Oh my god, you fucking,
you know,
you're worse than James Marsden.
Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. You know why? Because James Marsden's in that fucking horrid Sonic movie that's coming out this year.
You mean the awesome Sonic movie?
Oh, no, it's going to be the worst.
I'm going to buy it for your birthday.
Bad. I hate you.
Then you have to go.
No.
And then I won't even show up.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. You would do that. But yeah, no, I'm not sure who you'd have play. I don't know. Maybe the kid from Riverdale, the lead kid,
the not redhead.
Yeah, the not redhead. Ozzy.
Have you watched Sabrina? Chilling Adventures of Sabrina?
I've seen 4 episodes of Sabrina.
I think Harvey would be a decent one for that. The guy who plays Harvey.
Maybe. I mean, another thing is it depends on like which era they're setting the X-Men in. You know, because they've already done 80s, they've already done 70s, they've already done 60s, they've already done 2000s, you know? So it's like, do they just go full modern with it?
I think they have to.
You know?
In this, if they're going to tie in X-Men into the MCU proper, then they would have to go complete modern, make them all young, middle-aged, like early 30s,
so
mid-30s.
More like the first X-Men then.
Yeah, where X-Men is established, but it's still a fairly secretive, close-knit group, so that they have a lot of room to explore new characters, new villains, but you still have the established mainstays like Magneto and Juggernaut. I mean, great enemies of the X-Men.
Yeah, and they definitely need to get some more of the classic X-Men enemies in there. Like, where the fuck is my Mr. Sinister?
Or fucking Omega Red.
Oh God, I wanted Omega Red. I kept hoping as I watched Logan. Come on, Omega Red, just pop out. Come on.
Or like a little nod to Omega, like his belt or like one of his cables or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that would have been enough. But there also,
you know, there was a nod to that in Deadpool 2, right?
Really?
Yeah, there was like a Russian dude there with like white skin in one of the cells, and he had the same prison number as Omega Red.
Oh, I did not even notice that.
Yeah, it's on like one of those like things where you're like looking for Easter eggs and stuff.
Okay. Well, okay, so going back to CGI Beast and Deadpool 2, perfect example. Juggernaut, full CGI. I did not think they were going to be able to pull it off really well, but I thought it was amazingly done. Like, Juggernaut was amazing in Deadpool 2. Like, the CGI, the mocap, all of it. It was amazing.
Yeah, you know who played Juggernaut, right?
The voice or the mocap?
The voice.
Yeah, it was Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. And he crushed it.
He did crush it. I totally agree with that.
As he does. So, I think the bigger problem, though, especially because we've had two big actresses and a bunch of storylines about Jean, is who plays Jean in an MCU version. And I think what they need to do with Jean is they need to go the Marvel Ultimate Comics route, and they need to give her a pixie cut and have her be a lesbian like she is in Marvel Ultimate.
Or she is dead, quote unquote.
Okay.
Like they defeated her because of the Phoenix Force, and she's dead, quote unquote, and then she comes back or something. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't think you can just introduce Jean Grey like they have anymore. Like, I think they need to make it like more pronounced, like Jean's back. Because honestly, that the series where after the Dark Phoenix and Scott is just in a just total downward spiral, and even Logan's like, yo homie, you got to slow down, like you're drinking a lot and I have accelerated healing. Like, that was a really good storyline of just seeing his fucking despair. And I think that would be a great way to introduce X-Men, like this kind of broken, fragmented group, and then you're bringing them all back together with whatever.
I mean, there's been like a bunch of like how they might bring them back together, you know, like one of the obvious ones is like, oh, Professor Xavier's mind wiped the planet a couple of times. Which could be. I mean, it's happened. It's happened in the comics fucking a lot. Actually.
Yes, it has.
So it's not 100% out of the question. So
yeah, but then we get into if we're casting into really big crucial characters, then who plays Magneto and who plays Wolverine?
Well, again, Magneto, Jason Isaacs, easy. Wolverine's gonna be the nut to crack, and honestly, and this is gonna suck, I think they should not have Wolverine for a couple of X-Men films. And here's why. I love Wolverine. You love Wolverine. A lot of people love Wolverine, which is why he was made more of a main character in all of the movies that have Hugh Jackman. Like, he fucking stole the show. In the comics, Wolverine was always kind of a side character. And I think realistically, they need to go back to that and like have like 2 X-Men movies like firmly establish how they're going to be in the MCU, and then like the 3rd or 4th X-Men film do like the whole Weapon X thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that would lead into a good way for Wolverine to be like, you guys play by the rules too much. I'm going to start my own X-Men, and then him and Deadpool team up for X-Force.
Sure.
Or to bring X-Force in.
Something like that. Sure, why not?
So, yeah, Wolverine.
Wolverine's going to be the nut to crack.
Yeah.
Because there's a ton of actors, but it's like, it's like when they eventually have a new person play Iron Man, which is going to happen. But it's like, I think the realistic thing to do is wait. It
makes sense.
Because the last thing that we need for X-Men in the MCU is to have a situation where, have like a Spider-Man situation. We've had 3 actors play Spider-Man in 20 years. That is too many.
Yeah, considering all the other stints that the other superheroes have had. I mean, Hugh Jackman did it for 25 years.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman did it for 25 years. In fact, him and Patrick Stewart earned the Guinness Book of World Record for who has played the same superhero the longest.
Yes.
And because generally they've appeared in the same films together. So it's Jackman and Patrick Stewart. So, but yeah, I don't know who you cast as Wolverine. I don't know whether you go unknown and you get some just amazing like tour de force, like I've never heard of this guy, or maybe he's done a couple of small movies, but he just brings this extra element. I don't know. I feel like almost you need to like bioengineer a person and make a real Weapon X.
Well, I mean,
Truman Show it or some shit.
Yeah, you can't really expect lightning to strike twice with like a character like Wolverine. Like Hugh Jackman
Yeah.
had no idea who or what Wolverine was when
Yeah.
he took
For
the role
most of the
on.
movie. You heard about
Like,
that, right?
yeah, he didn't even realize Wolverine was an actual animal.
Yeah, which is hilarious coming from Australia.
Yeah. But, and then you look at the little girl who played X-23.
Oh yeah. Who's gonna be the
Fantastic.
lead in
She's gonna play Lyra Vlaqua.
yeah, in fucking
His Dark
Materials.
Materials.
Yeah.
And she's crazy good. And
Mm-hmm.
if anything, she should take over the mantle of fucking Wolverine, because X-23 did that in the comics.
I mean, agreed, but you have to figure they're gonna reset it once it's
I know.
finally back in the MCU. And nobody's denying the sheer acting force that is Daphne Keene's X-23.
Yes.
But it's it's a whole, I don't know, it's gonna be a whole other thing. So I think, you also got to get some of the other characters in there. Like who's playing Iceman, who's playing Rogue this time around, who's playing a Jubilee that appears on the screen for more than 30 seconds.
You know what I want? How them to introduce Rogue? I want them to show fucking Rogue walk up to fucking Captain Marvel, kill her with her fucking draining powers, and then there's no more Captain Marvel.
Well, I can almost
that's how
guarantee
it happened in the comics.
That's true.
In the comics.
But
that's how she flies. That's how she's invulnerable, or not invulnerable. Is she invulnerable?
No.
She's super strong. She flies, and she's got super stamina.
But agreed, she needs to nuke somebody. But I mean, it won't be Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel will be, she's going to be the new captain of this MCU here. Because I doubt Steve Rogers is going to make it through Endgame.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like,
but I mean, that's they need to, if they really want to tie all these different groups of superhumans, inhumans, metahumans, then they need to they need Rogue to just straight up fucking just murder someone. And she did that, and Rogue did that at the behest of Mystique. So Mystique needs to be evil again.
Agreed.
And not good or conflicted or whatever her character portrayal is. So, I mean, they got a lot to figure out to tie in X-Men,
especially because X-Men is so big.
Super big.
I mean, X-Men is, the cast of characters is so large, it's almost as big as the fucking whole MCU.
And it has probably one of the biggest A-list, or at least most recognizable list of villains probably in the MCU too.
I mean, maybe
Magneto, Mr. Sinister.
I would argue Spider-Man has that more.
Okay, yeah, that's not an invalid argument, but it's a huge list to live up to, both good guy and bad guy wise.
Absolutely. And then the other thing to consider is, I want to see some of the fucking X-Men I haven't fucking seen yet. Where's my Bishop? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, good call.
Give me my Bishop. Give me Idris Elba Bishop. Let's go.
I would actually love an Idris Elba Bishop. That would be fucking amazing. You know who I didn't see in that trailer for Dark Phoenix?
Who?
Fucking Nightcrawler.
Oh yeah. I wonder if he's gonna be. Wonder if he's gonna be in it, because then they introduce him in Apocalypse again.
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
they did. But also, I mean, I was a huge fan of the character dynamics between both Colossus and Nightcrawler, and Nightcrawler and Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Some great fucking buddy stories.
Yeah, which we never got in the X-Men movies so far, but they were always there in the comics and the cartoon.
Yeah. And I think that's a huge missed opportunity.
Hmm. So there's a fan casting for Nightcrawler. I don't have a name, but he's basically again another actor from Sense8, a side character in Sense8 actually. There's this main storyline with this guy in Russia, and he's got this like spiked hair, super skinny, long nosed buddy who's like a thief with him, and he is like he has like the bravado and like the bright build to be a perfect Nightcrawler.
Yeah, but Nightcrawler wasn't ever bravado. He was pretty humble.
I'm not saying bravado. I'm saying like that kind of snark, which we only got a
Okay.
little bit of in the first X-Men trilogy.
Yeah, okay. I agree with that.
So that's what I'm saying there. But I want Bishop. I want who the fuck what was it? Morph? I think it was. First
Uh
episode of X-Men 90s series, and he dies, but he's really betraying the X-Men.
oh yeah, that is Morph.
Yeah, let's get fucking Morph up in there. And Morph totally needs to be fuck, I can't think of the actor's name. He's fucking one of the main Poyle in Everything Sunny.
Dennis?
No,
Oh,
not
oh, no, no,
Dennis.
no.
Poyle.
Uh,
He was always white shirt, licking
yeah,
his nipples.
yes.
He's
The guy
one of the
from
leads in Westworld now.
yes, him. Yeah, oh
Morph,
yeah.
Morph,
Yes.
baby.
He would be a good one.
He would be an awesome.
You know who I'd like them to introduce too? Squirrel Girl.
She's already getting her own show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with Keith fucking David.
Okay. I mean, I was hoping for a movie.
No, it's gonna be a freeform
okay.
TV show. It's already cast, dude.
Oh, okay.
Like it's filmed already. It's supposed to come out sometime this year.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's supposed to air next to season 2 of Cloak and Dagger.
Sweet. I still need to finish Cloak and Dagger.
I hear it's really good.
I've got 8 episodes in, and it was really good.
Okay, cool.
It's one of the better TV shows for superheroes
and Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, but you don't like The Runaways, and I did.
Yeah, it was too big of a divergence from the comics, and The Runaways was already so good as it was. You know, they didn't need to go off base, and then they lied about it at Comic-Con. They're like, "Yeah, we're just doing the comic," and then the show was like, not even there, not even close. So, fuck you. I refuse to see season 2. I'm out. Go fuck yourself.
I haven't started season 2. I mean, I got a lot of shows to watch. Like, I've been meaning to start Legion. I've been meaning to start Gifted.
So I'll tell you right now, when you start Legion, you better power through the whole thing, because it is a mind fuck from start to finish.
Yeah.
So you're gonna need a scorecard, or at least watch it all in one sitting and be like, how in the fuck? You know, it's like one of those shows. In a good way.
Yeah.
Like, it's really good. It's really good.
Okay, that's cool.
And it's going to wrap up. It's having a 3rd and final season this year. So, that's happening.
Okay, cool. That makes me excited.
So, yeah.
So, did you see How to Train Your Dragons yet?
No. Talking about maybe going and seeing it tomorrow with a buddy of mine.
Oh, okay.
It's his daughter's birthday.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, I'd wanted to see it earlier in the week because I know you've seen it. So without spoilers, where's it rank in the trilogy?
I'm gonna say 2. I'm gonna say number 2 was number 1 in my list, and then number 3 was 2, and
so really 3, 1, 2.
No, 2, 3, 1.
Oh, okay. You didn't like the first one that much?
I did, but something was lacking, in my opinion.
Okay, fair enough.
All great movies, but something was definitely lacking in the first one that the second one seemed to really get.
Okay.
for
What'd
me at
your
least.
kid think?
He was kind of bored in the beginning because there was a lot of lulls
Okay.
in action, but the last hour he was legitimately sitting at the edge of his seat, like just enthralled with it. He loved it.
Is it like one of those ones that's like backloaded? Like the back half of the movie is like all action and shit. And the front's not so much.
Yeah, so about halfway through, things really start fucking snowballing
Okay. Okay.
in a good way. It's not there's not too much going on that you're like, oh man, I feel like I'm missing something or something was left out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but my only complaint is that the main antagonist, I really wanted more of his backstory because he was really cool,
Hmm.
and like I wanted to know more about him
Hmm.
personally.
Well, sweet. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's as good as people are saying, and definitely looking forward to it. Movie I've seen. I saw Alita: Battle Angel a couple of weeks ago, actually. And I gotta say, uh, sci-fi fans, sci-fi action fans, and anime fans, do not sleep on Alita: Battle Angel. It is one of the best movies. It's the best movie I've seen so far in 2019. Um, and like it has the most intricate, coolest action I've seen since like John Wick and The Matrix. Like the action that like it's one thing to be like, oh, it's definitely got action, but the action is like hella gratuitous. Like I can't believe that it's a PG-13 movie, and they probably get away with it because it mainly deals with like cyborgs and stuff. But it's like fucking heads getting chopped in half, people ripping eyeballs out. Like it is fucking wicked vicious. Which is cool because it's based off of a manga, which had a limited anime thing, which you can find on YouTube, actually. Um, and it's like people who've seen animes or read manga, they know that like the Japanese way is to kind of be ultra fucking violent, and this movie retains that. Um, and I've read several volumes of the manga series now myself, and I can honestly say that I think the movie is better than the manga or the limited anime. Like it takes what the manga does well and what the anime does well, and it really amps it up to 11.
Excuse
Um,
me.
and one of the cool things I think about Alita is like there's been like a lot of trailers. There's like fucking 9 different trailers, and it's like one of those things where it's like you see a lot of stuff in the trailers, like, oh, I know the plot of the film now. Uh, I thought I did going into the movie. I was so super fucking wrong. Because it twists a lot. Like it twists like every half hour, and it's like, oh, bad guys are now good guys are now bad, like, and then like it twists again, and it's like, oh, okay, that bad guy, that was like good is now bad, is now good, is now bad again, and then like, oh, that plot detailed there, that's a huge surprise, or like, oh, that was very surprising. Um, yeah, like it's just a really fucking awesome movie, and like I loved it like a whole lot, and I would recommend it to just about anybody who's a fan of action or sci-fi or high concept films or um yeah, it's just really good. It's just really good. I saw it in IMAX in 3D, and it was definitely well worth the extra ticket price. The 3D is incredible. The world is so well thought out and like developed, like it's a really full complete world as soon as you jump into the film. It's just awesome sauce. So I would super recommend that to anybody if you're waiting for a movie to see, or waiting in between these big tentpole films like Captain Marvel and Avengers. It's just super. Yeah, I was not disappointed in Alita in the slightest. My only disappointment was that the movie ended, and I immediately wanted a sequel. Like that was where I was at, and like I keep watching the box office, and I'm like, because it did so in America. It's doing real well in China and Japan. No surprise there, since it's a fucking basically an anime movie. But I think it might honestly be like the first good like movie anime adaptation manga that they've had so far. Especially now that I've read the manga, like I don't feel slighted by the movie at all. Like some of this, like there's been Godzilla's, and I think there's been an Attack on Titan live action movie. Like it doesn't feel like any of those. It feels like it belongs, like it knows who it is and wants to be.
Well, did you like Aeon Flux?
Yeah, I liked Anthem Flux. I liked the anime way better though, but I didn't know because I saw the movie first, and then I saw the anime, and I was like, yeah, anime is way better.
I agree with that. Anime was way better, but still, I thought it was a really good anime live action movie.
Yeah, especially for early on. Like that was what 2005.
Yeah, 2005, 2006.
Crazy early in the zeitgeist of nerd and geek movies to be made.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd say go see Alita for sure. Like it's pretty amazing. Like it's so good. Like me and Brock are big Anthem fans. In fact, I'm playing it right now. I named my fucking chick in the game Alita because it's just so fucking awesome. And it also made sense because it's like chick cyborg. We have suits, kind of cyborg. Yeah, all that jazz. So I guess the other big thing in entertainment is new Detective Pikachu trailer. How about that, Memples? So I watched a lot of reaction videos to people because spoiler alert, second Detective Pikachu trailer, fucking Mewtwo shows up.
Yeah, with a vengeance.
Like a goddamn yoked pimp.
Yeah, I hope he's voiced by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
God, you just want everybody into me. That's gonna be my my intro for you next week. It's gonna be like other podcast came over and played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, Brock.
It would come on. That would be awesome.
Be here. I would like to thank the little people, by which I mean all of you. Yeah. So there's a lot of shit going on in that Detective Pikachu trailer. We saw Snorlaxes, we saw Machamps directing traffic, we saw Greninjas, we saw Charizard, we saw Pikachu fucking swear.
Yeah.
Which has its own whole subreddit right now. Some people are shocked, some people are like, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think would happen if you were facing a giant fucking fire-breathing dragon that isn't a dragon?
And he had a Pikachu that's voiced by Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, right.
It was very surprising though. Like he's like, in the trailer he goes to face a Charizard and he's like, okay, I got this putz. And then everybody's watching and he can't like electrocute. He's like, oh, I can't go when you're watching. And then Charizard shows up and he's like grizzled and like scarred up. And then Pikachu Ryan Reynolds is like, get me the hell out of here. Which is hysterical.
Yeah. And it looks like it's going to be a good mystery action-packed
Yeah, it looks
movie.
like it's going to have a lot more action than we thought. Because there's stuff in the trailer, like it looks like there's something going on in like the city during a parade, and like Pikachu's fighting Mewtwo, and there's like people being Greninjas hucking water shurinkens at people. Like it looks pretty intense, actually. Like way more action than I expected, especially given the way the first trailer was. Made it seem like it was maybe going to be like a slower but funny kind of movie.
Yeah.
Like it definitely looks like it's going to be funny and there's going to be mystery, but it looks like there's going to be I mean, it just looks like there's going to be a lot more action than I anticipated. A lot of Pokemon stuff going down. Like it's definitely going to be very interesting to
Yeah, a
see.
lot of different generations of Pokemon too, which is really cool. Not
Yeah,
just
we saw
originals or the
blue,
newest.
red and blue, gold and silver. It looked like there was some stuff from Ruby, um, and I think there was some Aloha stuff in there.
Alola.
Alola, Aloha stuff.
You shut your whore mouth.
It's one of those things. So yeah, I don't know. Like I know you're pretty excited for the film.
Yeah, I am.
Because we were watching it in the work van the other day, and
I fucking, as soon as Mewtwo came fucking coming out of the
you're
fire, I
like,
was like,
yes, that's fucking right.
yeah, fucking Mewtwo in the house.
Yeah, I watched like 10 reaction videos to see if anybody else had the same reaction, and nobody else got like super pumped when Mewtwo showed up. I was very
Yeah,
surprised.
fuck them. Well, I mean, okay, so I fell off the Pokemon bandwagon after the second or third generation, and then when I started dating my ex, her son saw all of my Pokemon cards and my Game Boy games, and so I was playing with him, and then I was like, oh, and then he got into it, started rewatching the Indigo series, and then the newest ones, and then Sun and Moon came out. So I actually went out and bought him and I Game Boys and Sun and Moon so that we could play together. And I fucking fell back in love with Pokemon. And then, Pokemon Go was also was already out. So I was playing that a little bit, not as quite as religiously as I am now. But yeah, like super back into Pokemon. I feel like a fucking an 8-year-old child in a 30-year-old's body.
Fair. Very fair. Let's see. Was there any other entertainment stuff we had to talk about this week?
I mean, Into the Spider-Verse, I saw that.
Oh yeah, what'd you think of that?
Really liked it. Really liked it. I did not think I was going to like it because of the art style and the way the animation was, but it lended itself very well to the story, and like it almost felt like another character in the story.
Oh yeah.
So it was amazing. I thought it's the best Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, hands down.
Yes, hands down.
Okay. Wow. What'd your kid think of it?
He has not seen it yet.
Oh.
We watched Wreck-It Ralph together. That was good.
Yeah. What did he think of Wreck-It Ralph 2?
He liked it. He thought it was interesting. He wasn't jumping around. He sat still and was laughing at the funny parts.
Okay, so it held his attention.
Yes, it's really all you can ask for a kid's movie, and I wasn't bored out of my mind.
Sure. Yeah.
So
sweet. All right. Yep. Well, let's spin the ring there and get on to the next topics. All right. Let's see. All right. So technology. So a couple of things, technology-wise. 3 things really. So one, Samsung has the first US foldable screen cell phone.
We talked about that last week.
Did we?
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
You sure? You sure we didn't just talk about it?
Yeah, because you were like foldability or foldably or something. You said a word about folding and it was not a correct or even imaginative word.
Well, screw you. There's folding phones now. It's a thing.
It's basically a folding tablet, in my opinion.
Right.
And it's fucking like $1,200.
Yeah, it is ludicrously expensive.
Cool. Really cool, but just insane.
yeah, I just don't know how I feel about, because like they started, they've obviously been working on this for a while, and like Apple has a bunch of patents for like a folding phone. I'm like, I don't know if I want a folding phone, like
No.
period. Like it doesn't seem appealing to me. Like I get the idea, like, on the go you can have a bigger screen. That's appealing, but like the idea of a folding something, like I don't even like folding my wallet to put it in my pocket. Like I don't like folding things. You know what I mean? What?
I guess that's why Jessica does all your laundry.
Oh,
Boom.
you son of a
Headshot.
bitch. Fair enough.
No, I totally agree. Like if I don't want a flip phone, like
Oh, right. Yeah,
it's not the
God.
fucking 2000s
I fucking forgot about
anymore.
that.
I don't need a Sidekick or whatever those fucking flip up phones were.
That's exactly what it was. Sidekick,
Like,
Motorola Razr.
yeah, like we're in fucking 2019. I am happy with my 10s that is bigger than it's the
Give it a
biggest
10.
phone I've ever owned. Whatever it is.
Give it 10.
Yeah, whatever. I don't give a shit. It's bigger than the phone that I owned before, and I was like, the phone that I had before, I was more than happy with its size. Like,
Yeah.
So I have no reason to go get a folding phone that also cost legitimately a paycheck for most people.
Oh,
That is, like,
Jesus. Yeah, that's the other thing, right?
it is a legitimate paycheck. So what? You're gonna pay $5.99 a month for the next 6 years on your data plan? Like, that's just fucking silly.
It is kind of silly. But, some people are excited about that
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, some people eat fucking Tide Pods. So like,
It's very true. It's super true.
like,
Oh my gosh.
I can't take that kind of shit seriously. It's so ridiculous. I think it's gonna have a really big boom, and then it's just gonna fucking die off, just like the Sidekick.
Yeah, it'll probably be a fad type item, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it's the tech version of Heely shoes.
Well, but they still have those though.
Yeah, but nobody gets them really.
I actually, a friend of mine who just started his own podcast, he has adult Heelys.
Oh God.
He skates around with them.
Oh God, that's so terrible.
Oh my gosh. Well, shit. Maybe I don't have as much technology news. Did we talk about how the Chinese company Huawei's supplying 5G modems into phones, but then President Trump banned them because they were a security risk, and then the UK, what is it? MI6 said that they were an acceptable risk
No, I
to
don't
national
think we talked
security.
about.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Okay, so basically, President Trump has banned Chinese-made next generation wireless modems in the U.S. because it poses a security risk, in conjunction with a statement from him and the NSA. And then a week later, MI6 in the UK was like, there is a lot of risk with them, but we think the risks are acceptable, and we're going to allow them to be used in the UK market. So I don't know. Like, all of that seems super sketchy. Like I don't personally have a problem with China or anything, but it's like, is this a legitimate concern we're going to have going forward? Like, do I need to, like, whether I have an iPhone or a Samsung or HTC or something, do I have to, like, Google search if it has a Chinese modem or something in it now going into the future for, like, my own personal security?
Okay, well, let me put it this way. You already have your thumbprint tagged to your phone. You already have your face tagged to your phone. You have your credit cards and your debit cards tied to your phone. What more are the Chinese going to take from you than what you've already freely given?
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, I don't even have my thumbprint on this phone. I have my face and one debit card.
Right.
And if somebody wants to steal that, they can fucking go ahead and do it, because I ain't got shit to steal. But I mean, I honestly, for me, me as a citizen, I don't have anything that the Chinese are going to want. Whether they could use it for some fucking super secret, like ping system, or whatever they think the security risk is.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you. I am not that phone tech savvy. So I mean, could they do stuff like that? I'm fucking sure they could. I mean, they can track your phone right now from, like, if you press your 911 button on your iPhone, they can track your phone within 5 minutes and have your exact location.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Who's to say that the Chinese haven't already hacked our fucking system like that? Like the North Koreans did it with Sony and released a bunch of content. I mean, there's always going to be risks. I don't see a point in banning something that it's going to get into the market anyways, whether it's made by the Chinese or it's made by the US or it's made by South Korea or Japan.
I mean, yeah, I suppose you're not wrong.
I know I'm not.
All right, well, let's get down to the last topic, which is video games. And something I meant to bring up earlier, I can hear your PlayStation menu music, homie.
Oh, really? I thought it was quiet enough.
No, it is not. It's a little gentle, little think. I don't even know what you call it. Like, I guess it'd just be ambient
background
music.
noise.
Yeah, because like everybody knows that if they have a PlayStation, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's just fucking white noise.
Yeah. Okay, so video games. So me and Brock have been playing a shitload of Anthem. You know, the retail copy. It is amazing. The story is amazing. The gameplay loop is amazing. And the only problems we've had with it so far was last night when the servers broke completely for like several hours. And on that same point, you know, you can go yada yada yada. Oh, they're not ready or whatever. You know, if a brand new game that's like online only and the servers break a week and a half after launch as opposed to during launch, I'd say that that's a pretty good fucking run.
Yeah, and they had it up and running within 3 hours, 4 hours.
It was a couple of hours, yeah. But at the same time, though, it also wasn't entirely BioWare's fault either. Everybody knows Anthem is published by EA, and EA owns BioWare, so of course they're going to publish the game. But all of EA servers were down last night for like 4 hours. Because I tried to get on with some buddies to play Apex, and Apex servers were down. Surprise, surprise. So it wasn't just Anthem servers, it was just EA servers being hammered. And they gave out, as it were. So both me and Brock are getting close, we think, towards the end of the story game, so that we can get to the end game loop of Anthem. I think we've probably got a couple more story missions to do, I think.
Yeah.
How do you feel, without spoilers, about the story in Anthem compared to other online-only games that you've played in the past? You know, be that Destiny or Warcraft or other games that I'm forgetting you've probably played.
So Warcraft, it's hard to compare it to Warcraft because Warcraft is
old as shit.
15 years old now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it has a very good, solid storyline that they can definitely add to and build on. Destiny, I'd say it's maybe a shade above Destiny story-wise. I really like the story. I wish you could access your what's the journal thingy that you
Oh, the codex.
yeah, the code. I wish you could access the codex during your load screen so you kind of read
great.
all the things that you. But it's really in depth. It's really well done. It's not to the extent of like say Skyrim or any other like
Single player RPG,
yeah, where they just have
especially
tons
single player ones of BioWare's past.
yeah, where there's just an obscene amount of lore, but it's lore that you want to dig into and read and explore. And this is on the same level, I think, because there's a lot of cool things.
So for me, I find that. So I'm going to compare this story to the Division story and Destiny's story, and I'll say for kicks, Borderlands stories, because those are the only types of games that are online only that have stories like that I can think of to compare to. I think personally, Anthem is head and shoulders above those games. And coming from somebody who had a Destiny podcast and was very invested in the lore, and I still very much like Destiny's universe, the thing that I can say about the the vanilla version of Anthem, as it were, no content patches, none of that stuff. I believe that stuff is coming later this month. I think for being 4-player cooperative at all times, and the story that they do give to you, even though you don't get a breadth of choices like you might get in say Skyrim, or particularly BioWare's famous Mass Effect trilogy. I think the narrow story that they do give you is extremely well polished. I find I give a shit about all of the characters, and
Except for the poor grieving mother.
except for that fucking stupid mother.
Did you finish her story?
Yeah, I was horrible to her.
Yes, you were.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess if you're looking for multiple choice in an RPG, you will get some of that, but only in the side quests and their binary, essentially yes or no answers. Um, so there is some of that stuff that you've seen in Bioware stuff before, but it's very limited to the side missions, because you can't say like yes or no in the main story and have it really ultimately affect. At least so far, it hasn't affected a single fucking thing for me, at any rate.
Well, you can't even decline contracts. You just accept them. Like when you go to talk to somebody, you can't like just skip out of a contract. It's like oh, okay, hit X to accept. Well, what if I don't want to accept? No, you accept.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I didn't really think about that, but I don't know. It's fine.
But the contracts are really cool and great part of the stories. So I mean, I haven't had a problem with it.
Yeah, and something that I think I mentioned maybe last week and in the demos was I was a little bit worried about the variety of things you do have to do in the game, like in the actual missions. I think what you do in the missions is simple, but as I progressed more into the story, I'm not sure how to put this. Like, it doesn't seem like there's a ton of variety. However, as I progressed further into the game, my concern about that getting boring was put to rest by the missions themselves being really fun and interesting. And the story and what I was doing was interesting enough to overlook the fact that, for large in part, the game is uh, fly here, kill that, defend this, find this guy, defend that guy, uh, grab a thing, go there, kill this thing, hunt down for some stuff, that sort of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's really great in the variety in that sense. However, I thought I would get bored of that, and with how deep the actual gameplay systems are and the different javelins, um, I think that those are essentially, at this point in time, non-issues. Because something that I found was like I really liked the Storm Javelin a lot. But just last night I unlocked the Ranger Javelin, and I'm actually playing him right now, who's kind of the all arounder, more like Iron Man than the rest of them, kind of Javelin. Um, and they all play so totally differently that they feel like a completely new layer to the game that you didn't experience yet. So I find that even though the actual like what you're doing on a mission list is very samey across all the missions, just switching between javelins changes the gameplay and like your dynamic and how you interact with the environment so much, um, that in itself gives more replay value. So I would say maybe, much like Warframe and how changing frames on that can be pretty dramatically different sometimes. I would say all 4 javelins are extremely deep and detailed and varied, and like they mentioned, probably the only DLC they will have will be new javelins to purchase. So I would hope that new javelins come sooner rather than later. I don't know what the javelins would be within this world, because in Warframe you can go fucking crazy. Whereas Anthem's a little more grounded, even though it's out there sci-fi. Yeah, I'm not sure what they would do for like next types of javelins, but for right now and in the honeymoon phase, as it were, only a week and a half after launch, having a ton of fun in the game. I think the story is definitely a strong suit, and the lore is there for you to find. It's accessible in game, and not on an app. And actually, I saw this on Reddit the other day. Because something that games have been doing for now is there's usually a companion app, and sometimes features that should be in the game are in a companion app instead. Perfect example of this would be Destiny 1. The lore was only accessible via website or their companion app. Lore is only accessible in Anthem because they don't have a companion app. And something that Brock was mentioning was, the loading has improved slightly. The loading is still definitely one of the sore spots in the game because it's long and there's a lot of it. They should definitely let you do shit during the loading if getting that load time down is gonna be a while in terms of the development roadmap. But in terms of BioWare's communications to the players, last night, like the president of the studio tweeted out, when the servers went down, and said they're working on it and they'll update you as soon as they're fixed, which he did. They have a next 6 months roadmap, and they have a next 90 days roadmap, which is really cool. And bugs, we've had 3 patches since launch, which is crazy to think about. So the response time of the development team has been really fast. And it's something really I haven't seen since Sea of Thieves in terms of an online-only game, in terms of like how fast the developers are responding to bugs and handling critical issues or issues that crop up because of bug patches and stuff like that. So in that sense, I think BioWare is definitely crushing it. And then the other thing that I didn't know that I found out about this the other day was, and we've been talking a lot about this before Anthem's launch, is actually both BioWare Montreal, who's the A team, as well as BioWare Texas, are contributing to Anthem. So there's essentially 2 whole BioWare studios working on this. And BioWare Texas is interesting because the only game that they've developed is Star Wars: The Old Republic MMO since 2011. So they have an actual legitimate, well-seasoned MMO team also working on stuff and patches and content for this game, which is interesting to me. So I think, probably in closing, because I feel like I'm rattling on here because Brock's not saying shit, let me talk like an asshole. Anthem's future looks really bright. And then like a lot of people were concerned about sales of this game, and Anthem sales are absolutely killer in both the UK and Japan and China.
That's good.
Like, in fact, Japan's sales alone beat America's 2-1.
Oh, wow.
Which is crazy for an American game. I don't think that's happened since Halo.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Don't quote me on that, Fork Fam. I could be wrong. I'm not looking
Quote
at it.
him.
And I'm not looking at a Google thing.
Quote him.
But I read an article on Games Radar, and they were talking about how, because a lot of people in America, especially on Reddit, are concerned about, like, oh man, BioWare, keep strong on the game. We'll support you. You know, EA, don't kill the game. And like the president of BioWare was like, seriously, guys, don't worry about it. We're good financially. Chillax. So yeah, it's interesting. Anything to add to that, or I'll just prattle on some more?
No, you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, hit the nail on the head as you throw me under the bus for people to quote me.
Yep, totally.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Another thing that's going on right now as of this recording is the Division 2 open beta, which I have downloaded, which I have not yet checked out. Did you get that downloaded, Brock?
No, I didn't.
You fucking bastard. Go put the download on it right now.
Okay, I'm doing it. Boop, 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 boop.
Okay,
it's downloading.
Fucking son of a bitch. No, put it on. So then probably later tonight, me and Jessica can play it because she really wants to play it because she really liked the first one. Did you ever play it?
No, I never played the first one.
Okay. Do you know what kind of game it is?
I remember hearing about it, and I was just like, that just doesn't sound fun.
It's basically, so it's Tom Clancy's The Division, first of all.
Yeah, I know that.
And it's basically, it's basically like Destiny or Anthem, in which it's 4 players. There's team. It's hella RPG. There's lots of stats. There's level bars over enemies. And it's set in a slightly post-apocalyptic America after like there's been like a virus that has been spread on the currency of the US dollar, and it's like infected a bunch of people, but not in like a zombie way, but in like a you will legit die if you're not wearing a hazmat suit way.
Okay.
And so it's about the after the fall of that, and of course there's a secret government agency called the Division, who are kind of like freelance black ops units who have been like retroactively activated to try to restore peace and balance and stop mobs and other military forces from taking over the US while it's like essentially down.
Okay. It sounds interesting.
Yeah. I played the first one, and it's very much a similar kind of thing to what we're playing right now, just it's Tom Clancy, so it's way more grounded. The only things I didn't like about the Division 1 was the story fell completely apart by the end of the game. It had a pretty decent story. Like, it was like, okay, this is interesting. These are well acted. These things are happening. And then it just kind of went oddly crazy action movie towards the end. And there was a legit laughing evil man in a helicopter that was like a damage sponge. And I was like, okay, this is retarded. Like, okay. You had me and then you lost me.
Yeah.
And then, the only other thing I didn't like was, and it's unfortunate because my understanding is they definitely fixed it, but it took a year for them to get their shit together, was, it kind of had a lack of content towards the end of the game. And like the end game loop wasn't that satisfying. But like most Ubisoft games, they kept at it and kept retconning it and changed all kinds of stuff.
That's cool.
Another thing that is unique to The Division, which is, of course, returning in The Division 2, is they have this mode called the Dark Zone.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
And so the Dark Zone, like, imagine, like, what we're looking at now in Anthem.
Yeah.
And, like, there's, like, one area of the map that's, like, quarantine lockdown, and you have to, like, go through a gate. And once you're in there, anybody who's in there is a real player who can kill you and steal any loot that you're trying to extract from that zone. So you have to get in, get good loot, get out, call for a helicopter to evac, and get your loot out. And so it creates a very interesting thing of like, well, you can go hunt good loot with a good squad, or you could fucking ambush some motherfuckers and literally jack their stuff.
That sounds more fun.
Yeah, you would like that aspect of it, because it's like, yes, I fucking stole this thing. It's very, well, I guess another comparison, it's very Sea of Thieves in that way.
Yeah.
In that it's like, oh, there's a real person over there. I will now shotgun his face and steal his glowing purple backpack of level 12 loot legendariness. And then
that sounds my speed.
Yeah. So I guess we will have our food for thoughts on that open beta on the Division 2 next week, because Brock hasn't downloaded it and we're not playing it right now.
No.
But we will, because my girl Jessica really, I was actually really shocked that like she's like super hyped about it. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. It might be a game I might have to get. So we'll see.
Even though she won't play Anthem with us.
I know, right? Like, she was really hyped for Anthem. And then she tried the demo, and I was like, do you want us to like be in a party with you? And she's like, no, I want to figure out the mission. And then she went down and nobody revived her. And she's like, this game is fucking stupid.
And then she rage quit.
And she did. She absolutely rage quit. And I was like, seriously, that's not so dumb. So there's a crazy rumor going around. So with the advent of the fact that Microsoft has officially announced that Xbox Live is coming to Nintendo Switch, there's a rumor going around, pretty strong one from multiple sources, that not only is Xbox Live coming to Nintendo Switch, but Xbox Game Pass is coming to Switch.
Okay, so what does the Game Pass give you?
Xbox Game Pass is for $10 a month. You have access to a library of like 500 games that you can download and play whatever you want. It's basically Xbox Netflix for games.
Okay, that's cool.
So the question is, does that mean that like the same kind of service is coming to Nintendo, but with Nintendo titles? Or does it mean something crazier of the actual list of Xbox games coming to Nintendo Switch, but streaming via their previously announced Xbox streaming platform?
I don't know. Either way, it's going to be kind of spells doom for Sony, in my opinion.
Yeah, because Nintendo and Microsoft getting up, I love Sony, I love Xbox, I love Nintendo, I love PlayStation. Like, I love them. I love all three. I really do. You know, I have all three consoles. I play all three consoles. But in a, we're not quite at the next generation of consoles type world. Nintendo and Xbox together, I mean, that's not good. That's not good for Sony.
No, not at all.
And I think I'll reiterate something that I actually brought up with Brock earlier this week while we were working. Brock was unfamiliar that PlayStation was actually going to be a CD add-on to the Super NES back in the day. And basically, they commissioned Sony to develop the Nintendo PlayStation. And Sony worked on it and did their hardware expertise with the compact discs of the time. And eventually Nintendo went against whatever their commitment was with Sony. And they're like, yeah, we don't want to do that anymore. Because CDs are not... CDs are not that fast, or at least they weren't in the early 90s. And so we're like, we're going to stick with cartridges, so no PlayStation. And Sony had spent like a bunch of R&D money on it, and we're just like, well, fuck you, we'll go make our own console. And then a couple years later, they announced the Sony PlayStation, much to obviously Nintendo's long-term chagrin, because now they're a legit competitor. So,
yes, indeedy.
yeah, I don't know. Like, we will see. I mean, obviously it's just a rumor, but I mean, Nintendo and Xbox obviously have some kind of partnership brewing. They're letting legit Xbox branded services onto the Nintendo platform, which is so un-Nintendo like. It's about as un-Nintendo like as that recent thing where Apple is letting iTunes and AirPlay onto other devices that are not Apple things. So 2019, these times are a changing. Are they changing for the better? I guess we'll find out. But yeah. Well, that's the only video game stuff that I can think of. So unless you had something else to talk about there, homie. As there was silence. You still there?
Yeah, the new Pokemon's Sword and Shield, man.
Oh shit! I totally forgot about that. Well, why don't you talk about it?
Oh, well.
You saw the same fucking thing.
Yeah, so, Nintendo released an introduction video, basically, of both the starter Pokemon and just kind of an overview of the world and kind of the mechanics that you might be seeing or playing with. It was really interesting. And one of the starters is basically Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
He's a rabbit that runs everywhere and leaves a trail of flaming footprints.
I just want to point out that was actually the original concept art for Sonic the Hedgehog. Was he was going to be a bunny?
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know if you knew that.
Interesting. No, I did not.
Yeah, and they went with a bunny specifically because in the 16-bit era, they could animate the ears flapping behind to show that he was moving fast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That
So now
makes
we
sense.
literally have that in Pokemon, which is funny.
It looks interesting. It feels like it's like they're trying to cash in on the Game of Thrones type stuff because of Sword and Shield. And it's supposedly based on the region is based on England, Ireland, and Scotland. We haven't seen who the antagonists are. Like, we don't know if it's going to be Team Rocket or Magma or
I would
a completely
imagine it's
different.
probably something like that.
Yeah, or we haven't seen too much of it, but it looks interesting and it looks fun, and it is exclusively to the Switch. So this is going to be the first Switch Pokemon title besides Pokemon Let's Go, which is a clone, I guess, of Red and Blue.
Reboot. Remake.
Yeah, a remake. But
HD remaster, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. One thing I did notice, though, is that when people were running around in the tall grass, you couldn't actually see the Pokemon. So it looks like it's going to be a random encounter.
Which is unfortunate because...
Yes, because a lot of people really liked being able to choose battling certain types of Pokemon in the grass.
Yeah, which they have that feature in Let's Go.
Yes. So I'm imagining that is going to cause kind of a ruckus, and they may change that. Or they may just be using old code that they ripped from previous games to make this video.
Yeah, it's anybody's guess. I mean, I think the thing to take away from it is we'd heard from a while that the next true Pokemon game was going to be kind of wildly different. And everything we saw in this trailer, this Pokemon game looks very traditional. It looks very much like an evolution of Sun and Moon.
Yes, it does. Very much so.
So, yeah. And they said that's supposed to come out at the end of 2019. And they also said that there are more Pokemon announcements still on the horizon in 2019. So, who knows? Maybe there'll be this traditional game, and maybe there'll still be some crazy new wild out there like Breath of the Wild evolution style Pokemon game, which would be rad.
Yes, it would. It would be fucking amazing.
Something I wanted to also touch on, the art style for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Basically, like a lot of people were worried in Let's Go that they had like a kind of a anime but CGI look that looked kind of like an old GameCube game look, I guess. And something that we can see clearly in the Sword and Shield trailer is that it's like amped up anime style. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm on battery power, and it says it's dying. So this is the end of the show. Anything you wanted to pimp?
No, not really.
No other podcasts that you're on?
Oh, the fork in your ear. Shameless plug.
That's this show.
Oh, fork in your path. Shameless plug.
Go listen to it if you like actual play RPG podcasts. As always,
pretty funny.
Yeah, it is really funny. We were listening to an episode I was editing the other day, and we were on fire. It was hysterical.
Yeah.
I'm your host, as always, author, podcaster, gamer, Tim K.A. Trotter. Signing off. You can check out to see the shambles of the www.dynamicworksproductions.com website as I continue to slowly update it. It's getting better. Email us at theforkinyourairpodcast@gmail.com and tweet at us at GetForkPod. Join our Discord discussion. Head on over to the Twitter there at GetForkPod. It's the top link there. Join the conversation where you can talk to me and Brock directly. And until next week, get forked. And then you need to come up with a catchphrase to say at the end here.
Bye-bye.
That was terrible. We'll try again next week. All right. And we're out. Thank you for listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast. You can find our podcast at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Feel free to email us at dynamicworks@mac.com.
This is Dominic Armato, the voice of Guybrush Threepwood, and you're listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast.
The Citadel, Arrival, is the first installment in a series of epic science fiction short stories reminiscent of the Pulp Fiction style. It's a fast-paced story that will take you through twists and turns that you will not expect, until they are thrust upon you with all the force, excitement, and chaos of a plasma cannon blast. The story follows Katarl, a nobody cog in the working wheels of a futuristic society run completely by Megacorp, a corporation that carefully runs and manages the lives of the people living under its sphere of power. On one of Katarl's few and far between days off from work, an outing he had hoped would be fun and relaxing turns into an explosive adventure that drags him kicking and screaming into situations and challenges that will make him question every aspect of his life. Watch this colorful tapestry unfurl as Katarl and his newfound allies find their way through this classic, yet oddly surprising tale of good and evil, where nothing is quite what it appears to be. That's The Citadel, Arrival by author Tim K.A. Trotter, available right now on Amazon Kindle Store and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99. So, am I coming in okay?
Yep, you sound good.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
Fucking goddamn no revive glitch.
No revive glitch.
Yeah, it's where you can't revive your teammates, so I'm the last man standing in Tyrant Mine, trying to fucking do something.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's life.
Indeed.
Yeah. Got a third legendary.
Legendary
Same
or
one.
Masterwork? Because they're
Masterwork, sorry. Masterwork. Ah, fucking. Yeah, so I got a a second masterwork.
Cool.
But it was the same one as the last one I sent you, the fucking Charge of Yavern or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's funny. You had two of the same drops. You know.
And then a shotgun, which I don't fucking use any of those weapons. I'm trying to use the one right now. It's actually doing pretty decent for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So you just wanted to run Tyrant Mine while we do the show?
Sure.
Okay. Well, let me know when that's done.
Okay. Like I'm tempted just to let myself die, but like,
yeah,
I'm actually I got him a quarter way down right now.
Oh, good. You're aware of like I'll spin a ring to land on topics.
Yeah.
Sections of topics. Okay, cool. I'm gonna put that back.
Yeah,
play.
yeah.
And we'll get this show started.
Sounds good.
Cut in.
Sorry about that, guys.
What the fuck happened?
I was turning off the YouTubes, and I actually accidentally swiped Skype.
No, I hate you. Now I have to do more work. Okay, cool. Cut in.